Southampton, British manager, 2 divisions climbed in 2 years, brand of attacking, exciting football. Are we looking at the new Norwich?
Wow, they'd probably like to think so. I think if you offered them a comfortable finish and some very exciting days out, as Norwich had last season, they would surely take it. I think that the trouble that Southampton have is a look at their fixture list tells you that the start is pretty horrendous. They got a nice, comfortable opener at Manchester City, and then within their first 4 games, they also play Man United and Arsenal. The danger for them is that they might find themselves in a similar kind of difficulty that Bolton had last season. They had a horrendous opening set of fixtures as well, and they never really recovered, even though they made a good fist of fighting their way out of it. It's very, very difficult to play catch-up. It was hard enough for Bolton, who had a lot of Premier League experience in the team. For a team such as, and a manager such as Southampton, where they're all fairly new to this, to be in a position where they may well be playing catch-up and have a bit of distance between them and the teams around them early on would be a very, very tall order. So I'm sure that somehow Nigel Adkins is trying to instill in his team the inspiration to get something on the board fairly early on, which is going to be tough for them, but that's got to be the ambition, and it's going to give them an enormous head start if they can do that.
I mean, it's interesting in that context. They haven't gone out and added a huge amount of players, so they are going to be relying on a group of players that have been with them, well, not all of them, but some of them have been with them right through this journey. Some of them are, players who've just been playing in the Championship. Do you think that you expected more in terms of transfer business? Do you think that they need to do more still in terms of transfer business?
I think it's possible that they will bring in 2 or 3 more players in key positions before the end of the transfer window. I think what they're looking at is, in the same way that, we've got a lot of examples now, it seems to be not the exception, but more towards the rule, that you have teams coming up that you would expect to struggle straight away, that you look at the squad and you think, well, there's not a lot of Premier League experience there, therefore they're going to struggle. But, you only need to look at last season to see how these teams that are coming up now are feeling confident that they can make an impression straight away on the Premier League, even if they don't look around inside their own dressing room and see, I've been there, done that, all over the place. And what I think Southampton have is a great group of players who have felt success, and Adkins is going to still try and play an attractive style of football with this team, but they know their limitations, and I think what they're going to try and do is compensate with super fitness. And I understand that Southampton were working extremely hard in pre-season to make sure that the team are ready, if they're up against a team that perhaps they can't match in terms of pure quality, that they're going to make sure they can at least match them in a similar way that Norwich did for sheer endeavour, and making sure that goes through right through to 95 minutes if needs be.
There's a few players that sort of obviously jump out on that team. I think Ricky Lambert, everyone's fascinated to see how he's going to do, because he scored so many goals over the last 3 seasons between League One and the Championship. At 30 years old, can he now do it in the Premier League as well? But I mean, who are you looking at? Who do you think is interesting in that team that's worth mentioning?
Well, obviously, given some of their very high-profile graduates, Southampton's youth system continues to bear fruit, and I think there will be 1 or 2 new faces that aren't well known yet in the Premier League, who will be hoping to step through and make an impression. Adam Lallana is another one who I think they're hoping will develop into a player who's very capable at the highest stage. And there's a French under-21 player, Morgan Schneiderlin, who by all accounts is someone that can develop to be perhaps even pushing forward to challenge for the French national team. That's so how highly some people think of him down in Southampton. So I think they feel they've got some talent there, and it's whether or not that talent is able to express itself on this stage.